YouTube decided I'm no longer allowed to use the music in my intro, so now, until I find another one, you're stuck with my voice.
What is up, guys? This is Lintheo coming at you with quite an interesting discussion about censorship in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the censorship that I'm talking about is about the artwork and how they look and how they're drawn in the OCG compared to the TCG. Now, if some of you might obviously know that there is censorship in the cards, the artwork that comes out, and they kind of fall down into four main categories, and then a couple of random reasons why some might be reprinted or redrawn. So the main categories are to do with like religious symbols, violence, blood and gore, sexual connotations, or if something's overly sexual, and guns and weapons. So I'm just going to kind of break it down, talk about four different categories, and talk about if I think if it's like legit or not, and overall if censorship should really be in Yu-Gi-Oh! So with the first one, religious symbols. Religious symbols, what do I mean by that? Obviously with all the different, like crosses and anything else that could connotate anything to do with religion. Two examples of this would be Crimson Knight Vampire Bran. I'm going to show like the Japanese and the English artworks here, so you can see. So with Bran, in the Japanese, he's just got like kind of crosses on his legs and his shield, and his arms I think it is as well, his shoulder pieces. But in the English, the horizontal lines have been taken out, so it doesn't look like it's a cross. And then the other one is Treeborn Frog, which you might not realise. He used to have a halo, it is now gone. And I just think that some of these are so weird. Like, why would you take out a cross and a halo? I know they have big connotations to kind of Christianity and like God, the Christian gods, because it's the symbols of the cross and the halo, a halo with angels. But I'm not entirely sure why you would want to remove these, and I don't see how these things can really offend anyone. Like, a lot of people play the game, and I realise that they're trying to be as neutral as possible so they won't actually offend anyone. But it's just a picture. Like, it's really strange, especially in just a card game, and I suppose it's more down to the parents who would be looking after the young kids who are playing the game to see these and think, oh, this is inappropriate because this, that isn't my religion. But it is associated with different religions, and it doesn't mean that if you have anything to do with it, it's going to be the end of the world. But I suppose that goes into a very, very, very touchy subject and very touchy area with the whole of religion, so we won't get into that. But we're going to the next one. Blood, violence and gore. This one is kind of arguably one that's warranted because it is meant to be a kid's game. Anything that is too gory might be, valid, but I still think like it's just a picture. Like, they see worse on the internet, I guarantee you that. So some of the examples is Heatwave, one that I didn't even realise. The front dinosaur has head and his tail like kind of melting off, decaying away, and in the English one it's just the perfect thing. And that was a really cool one. And then the other one is a Super Rejuve, where his cut has been turned from red to blue. I don't get that at all. Like, I understand what Super Rejuvenation means and what they're trying to get with the actual shot, but changing it from red to blue doesn't really change anything. The connotations are still there. A part of his fucking leg is still missing. So I don't really see why changing red from blue is going to really make much of a difference, and I don't think it did at all. So that one was a little bit random, but violence and gore and kind of like horror is a one that arguably could be warranted. The most interesting one is the sexual kind of connotations and the edits that they do from the OCG to the TCG. And some really amusing one that I've picked out because there are a fucking lot of them. One that I picked out is Ex-Saber Anno Piranha, where she has gone from having breasts to not having breasts. Basically, she's had a breast reduction / had them chopped off. I don't know about you, but I think that we all see female breasts a lot in modern day society because they're there. And considering in the Japanese one they're actually covered up as well, like exactly the same, they've just been lopped off. Like, it's that one was completely shocking to me. Like, why would you even bother doing it? It's a woman. Like, what, that's a part of a woman's figure, that's a part of a woman's body, so why would you even bother doing that? The best one, however, and one that I was like, yeah, that's kind of fair enough, is Ego Boost. A lot of people might not have seen this one, but this is the best one ever. Japanese. Just gonna let you take this in for a second. Yeah, doesn't that look a little bit odd? So what did they do in the English one? They faded out half his body and moved Battle Axe to the left a little bit. Yeah, this one just looks like he's giving the other guy fellatio, I shall say. But that made me laugh, and I was like, okay, that one's kind of wanted to be moved, because if a parent picks it up, looks at it, be like, what do you play? So that one was quite a funny one. But the whole sexual category is one that can be argued. There's some like kind of ego boost that you can kind of laugh and joke about, but say, okay, fair enough. But others, like Mermala Bislind, has her stomach covered, like just literally a section of her stomach is showing in the OCG, and it's covered. Like, I just don't get that. Like, how is someone going to be offended by a stomach? So that one was a little bit odd, but there are a lot of things in there that kind of you can kind of understand, because it is meant to be a kids game, and over here, like, people apparently don't like nudity. And then going into the final one is guns and weapons, which is arguably one of the most stupid, especially when you take the card into consideration. So one of them that I picked out is Anishi, Ian's counsellor. How in the OCG he has all the weapons and everything's a weapon in the background, and then in the TCG the weapon in the background's been removed, but still left with the katanas on him. I don't know about you, but I hardly noticed the weapon in the background. Like, if you looked at both, obviously you'll notice a weapon's gone, but it just doesn't make sense to me. And like, considering he's already got weapons, why would you remove one in the background when he's already got them on him? Other one who's quick draw synchron has basically had a little ball put in his gun to make it look like a toy gun. Come on, quick draw. We all know quick draw from kind of westerns as a gun standoff, like Pistols at Dawn. To just have this gun basically have a little blue ball put on the end of it, or whatever colour it is, it's just like a poor attempt. Like, just don't bother doing it. Just because you've got a actual gun in the picture doesn't mean people are gonna automatically start going around shooting people. Like, that's what GTA's for. I'm only messing. We've gone through kind of a couple of them and the main categories on why Yu-Gi-Oh cards are censored. And I want to know what you guys think about censorship in general. Are you for it? Are you against it? Are there certain categories that you're for and against? Personally, I really don't give a shit. Like, I would rather they didn't censor stuff, because it looks stupid when you compare them. If you never knew it existed, then it would be completely fine. And some of them are warranted, kind of like Ego Boost, like, I can understand why they did that. But things like Tree Bomb Frog, where they've had a halo removed, like, come on. The amount of cards that have had halos removed is massive. So, like, Celestia has had it removed, Tree Bomb Frog, Des Frogs, like, there are so many of them that have had halos removed, and it just doesn't make sense to me at all. So let me know down in the comment section below. First off, are you for or against the censorship, and if so, why? Either or. And then your best censorships, like which is your most favourite card that was censored. And there is a Yu-Gi-Oh wiki page dedicated to it with pictures as well, so I'm going to put that down in the comment section below to make it easier for you guys to look at it. So cheers guys, thank you very much for watching, and let me know down in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.